Today, community members paid their respects to our nation's fallen heroes at Rochester's Soldiers Field Veterans Memorial. And for some of them, remembering their sacrifice is closer to home. KIMT News 3's Anthony Monzon joins us live with reflections from Rochester residents who know the sacrifice of members of our military. Anthony?
Well, Katie, inscribed at the top of this memorial behind me is the following phrase: "Let us never forget these veterans, for they have shown the world that freedom is never free." And while that's a sentiment that we hear a lot here over the years, people who understand the sacrifice of military members and what they do to protect our freedoms have a much deeper connection to that phrase. And that includes a couple of the folks I spoke to here earlier today, including Debbie Neville and Mariah Mim, a mother and daughter who were laying flowers beside the names of 3 loved ones who are memorialized here. And one of them is actually Mim's father, Neville's husband, who served in Vietnam before passing away just last year. Mim and Neville say for a long time he didn't like to talk about his service in Vietnam, but this memorial was always special to him. They say since his passing, it's become an even more important place where they come to remember his legacy, and that feeling is shared by others whose loved ones are remembered here for their sacrifices in preserving our freedoms.
We talk to other veterans and we know other people who have pavers here, and I think it's just so important to remember that we're here today free because these people served.
And they weren't the only ones who, when I spoke to them, reiterated that sentiment about freedom not being free. That was also, again, mentioned to me by another veteran, a veteran of the Vietnam War, Arvid Cecil, who tells me he joined the armed services right out of high school. Cecil says he was fortunate to not have been significantly injured, but many of those he served with suffered injuries and issues that affected them and their families for the rest of their lives. Again, he emphasized that freedom isn't free and hopes everyone really takes that to heart and understands that.
I didn't have a choice. I went there, and it's one of the things we had to do. We didn't have a choice. And live or die, you had to fight for your country. And I think they don't realize how important it is to keep this country free and good for everybody and safe for everybody.
And all of the community members you just heard from emphasize that Rochester is really blessed to have a place where the community can come and learn about the sacrifices that were made for freedom, and a place where children can continue pushing forward that message and understanding the history here that's protected all of us. Live in Rochester, Anthony Monzon, KIMT News 3.
Thanks, Anthony. If you'd like to have a loved one honored at the Veterans Memorial or make a donation, you can learn more about how to do so at KIMT.com.